I like Sonic.
What the?
It probably isn't a surprise. I mean, look at me. One of my favorite Sonic characters is Knuckles. He's so cool. And then right behind that is Metal Sonic, because everyone needs their cool, badass metal counterparts. Who the hell are you?
I'm going to destroy you.
So this is what Nostalgia Critic feels like. Anyways, Metal Sonic has always been a cool character, and his designs, or I guess different iterations throughout all the Sonic media I've seen, like the games and comics, have been pretty cool. So I wanted to take a look at all these different types of Sonics and why the hell there are so many of them. Seriously, if you just take one look at the Sonic fandom wiki and go into like the Metal Sonic category, there's over 40 of them. And I'm not even sure if that's all of them. But I'll be looking at your Robot Sonic, Metal Sonic, Mecha Sonic, Cyborg Sonic, whatever the f***. Anyways, let's just start with Metal Sonic. Oh wait, actually, that's not even the first one. Let's rewind a bit from Sonic CD to Sonic 2. No, not that one. This Sonic 2, released in 1992, where the first ever Robot Sonic was Mecha Sonic. Which yes, my first video was about this.
This boss is basically just a Metal Sonic, but it looks nothing like either the Metal Sonic.
Mecha Sonic is pretty cool. He has a somewhat simple design, but he has a uni eye. Yeah, you should probably get that checked out. I mean, it's a pretty cool aspect of this guy's design, and I haven't seen another Sonic character with this type of eye before. Mecha Sonic appears in Death Egg Zone, and he's the final boss of the game. And he's a reference to Mecha Godzilla, which is cool because I like Godzilla if you couldn't tell. Then in Sonic 2, which no, this isn't the same game, it's the Game Gear version. You ever heard of that console? Yeah, I didn't think so. So this game's kind of weird as it's not a direct port. I remember I played this version on the 3DS Virtual Console when I was younger, and there was like this weird cave stage. But anyways, Mecha Sonic in this game looks like this. Yeah, he's really small for some reason, but like, he doesn't need to be this small. Sonic is normal in this game, and if they could make Sonic, they could do a little bit of this and change some of these colors and make the eye, and boom, there's your Mecha Sonic. But maybe this guy got a pan dropped on his head when he was born. This character does have the ability of a claw that comes out of his stomach like he's Circus Baby or something. He also made an appearance in Mania, which, honestly, that's pretty cool. Then we get the guy you all know, Metal Sonic, who makes his first appearance in Sonic CD. I actually really like Sonic CD. The vibe is really cool and unmatched in a lot of other Sonic games, but anyways, this is the Metal Sonic we all know. Well, actually, no. This is classic Metal Sonic. I'm going to count him as a different character as in Forces and Generations. The classic characters are their own continuity and aren't the modern characters. They're not from the past. They're from a different dimension. I don't really know, but anyways, Sonic Forces was no good. So design-wise, he's pretty cool. I just love the spikes or whatever the f*** you call them. The spikes on Metal Sonic that replicate them are just cool. And the fact there's 3 instead of 6, I don't know, I just think it looks better with just 3 than if it were 6. Anyways, after that there was Mecha Sonic Mark II in Sonic 3, which, dude, he has an awesome design, and just like the progression from the past Mecha Sonics, it all makes sense how they all progressed into this one. Also, in the Sonic comic, this guy makes an appearance, but not within classic continuity, and he's like in modern continuity, which these comics can get confusing at times. Why the hell does Knuckles turn green? And what the hell is this? Anyways, in the comics, Mecha Sonic's got a cooler design with a Mad Max type cloak. It's just perfect. Alright, let's take a little break from the games and let's dive into the comics. You know, the comics are pretty cool. Fun fact, the Archie Sonic comic is one of the most longest running comics ever. And there's a lot of Robot Sonics that come from both the Archie and IDW comics, such as Captain Metal. Yeah, we've gotten to this point in the video, where we start to look at who the hell in Captain Metal Sonic is a robot pirate Sonic that's kind of cool. Then Badnik Sonic is a Sonic that looks more like Eggman's Badnik. I actually like his design. He has cool teeth and a coin slot type thing in his stomach. You could put a quarter in there or something. Anyways, for what they were trying to do with his design, you know, make him look more Badnik-esque, I think they did a good job. Kintopolis Sonic Robot. What the hell is that name? This guy's like a massive, and he has a cool design, I guess. He's got cool green glasses and an emerald in his chest, which is pretty cool. Metal Scourge. Now, this isn't Sonic. Scourge is his own character. He'll never be as great as Sonic the Hedgehog, but in terms of green hedgehogs, he's second place. Metal Scourge is cool, I guess. Who the hell is Sonic? This guy isn't really from a certain comic. He's from the Sonic the Hedgehog adventure game books. I think it's a book series based off. It looks like Set AM. I have no idea what even this is, but his design is just weird. He's just metal. You would say, of course, he's metal, but everything about him is the same metal color. Even his eyes are like bolts. He's literally just a metal Sonic. Wait.
Say that again.
Future Sonic is a robot, or I guess android. His design is kind of simple, but he's just Sonic with a coat and an eye patch. There's nothing too notable about him. Sonic's dad is kind of a robot, but he's cool. Robo Sonic is from the Sonic the Hedgehog manga, or whatever the hell this word means. Shogakukan. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Google, am I pronouncing that right?
Shogakukan.
He has cool little teeth. Robo Sonic is pretty cool. But you wanna know what else is cool? Robo Sonic. Yeah, these guys have the same name, but this one is from the Sonic Game Book Adventures, the same series that Sonic is from. He's a giant robot and he has no gender. It's pretty cool, I guess. Practice Robot. He's a Sonic robot made for practice by Dr. Robotnik. Practice Robot is also from the Fleetlace Sonic comics, which isn't the Archie or IDW and is from Britain. But the reason I'm noting this is because this comic is insane. If you were a Sonic fan, you've probably heard of how insane some parts of the comic, most notably, when Sonic goes supersonic, he goes insane and starts committing acts of, well, I can only best describe as terrorism. But I could probably make a video about this in the future just because of how wild and insane this comic is. And a little side note, but I don't really like this art style. It looks good when portraying the classic characters, but when you look at the modern characters, it just looks terrible. Look at Tails' head. This looks like shit. Silver.
Chaos control.
No, not that Silver. Silver Sonic, who's a robot from the Archie comics. And I think he's supposed to be a modernized version of Mecha Sonic, but I'm not really sure. That's just what it seems like to me. Titan Metal Sonic is pretty cool. He's like a giant metal Sonic, but he's red and has a large mouth with pretty sharp teeth. He's pretty cool. And speaking of pretty cool, Metallics, or I guess the Brotherhood of Metallics, which is multiple robots that all just look like Metal Sonic. They also have these for Knuckles and Porker Lewis. You remember Porker Lewis? Emperor Metallics is the leader of the Metallics, and well, he leads the Metallics. Aluminum Sonic is definitely a robot Sonic. Go Team. Yep, that's his name. And just look at this guy. He's a cutie, patootie. Kurudzu Hybrid Hydra. What the f? Now I thought a couple of these other names were a mouthful, and this one, you might as well shove the alphabet in your mouth. But other than that name, this guy's design is pretty cool. He's like, he looks like another Sonic, which I'll talk about later. But he's got moss over him, which is a nice touch. X-Robot is white, and he's pretty cool. I like this design a lot. It's simple and unique. And that's all robot Sonics from the comics. Jeez. Hey, editor, can you put a little counter for how many we've gone through so far? Thank you, editor. If you do that, I might actually think about letting you out of your shackles. I might even give you some tuna for dinner. So keep editing this video. Alright, anyways, let's get back to the other games. Sonic the Fighters is an interesting game. They have their own little robot Metal Sonic, Mecha Sonic model number 29. What happened to the other 28? He has another name, Rocket Metal. Pretty cool. Well, then there's Mecha Sonic Mark III, which if the original didn't look like Mechagodzilla, well, then this one does. It looks like the Heisei era Mechagodzilla. Look at the eyes, man, and everything else, I guess. I'm glad they continued the whole Mecha Sonic Mark stuff, even though I do think this is a step down from Mecha Sonic Mark II. Also, I forgot to mention Metal Sonic Kai from Knuckles Chaotix, which, dude, he has an awesome design. This guy looks menacing. Alright, let's get kind of weird. Sonic Bot. He's from a Sonic Boom game. I mean, he kind of looks like a frog. I think it's just the big eyes, but he just looks like a frog, dude. In Sonic Colors, there are virtual hedgehogs, which are like Sonic, but are just recolors, like some bootleg Sonic toy. Guardian is a robot Sonic from Sonic at the Olympic Games 2020. We're supposed to have the data of the very best athletes of the sports played within the game, which is cool, I guess. If you buy Sonic CD on Steam, you would gain access to a Metal Sonic character in the game, Spiral Knights. Do I look like I know what a Spiral of Knights is? His design is pretty cool, but he's kind of looks like a mouse. I don't know if that's just me though. Another weird Metal Sonic here is Mecha Sonic Mark IV, who was supposed to be in the cancelled Sonic game, Sonic Extreme, which looked like this. Ew, look at that fisheye lens. This design is pretty cool. I like the legs and your overall design is pretty sharp. Then there's Mecha Sonic Mark V, who also would appear in Sonic Extreme, and what the hell is this design? Metal Sonic 2.0 is found in Sonic Rivals and is pretty cool, I guess. Neo Metal Sonic is a version of Metal Sonic and Sonic Heroes and is identical to a lot of other Metal Sonic designs. Okay, I've covered all the game robot Sonics, now let's just take a look at TV shows and movies. Starting with Pseudo Sonic from The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Looking back at this show is weird, but mostly, yeah, weird. Oh yeah, Pseudo Sonic is kinda cool, I guess. I really like when shows and movies make their own characters and continuities, and seeing that show was made very early within the life of Sonic, it was pretty cool. Sonic Boom is a fine show, it's funny sometimes, but Cyborg Sonic is Boom's take on a robotic clone of Sonic, and he looks cool, I guess. I like the glowing eyes. He kind of just has a more simpler design. Sonic Trooper is from Sonic Prime, and he has a cool design. It's very different, and I like that. Alpha Grim Sonic is Sonic Trooper, but darker. Chaos Sonic, now you would think this guy is from Sonic Prime, but no. He's from the Roblox Sonic game, Sonic Speed Simulator. Now I've saved the best one for last. Hyper Metal Sonic. This guy is probably the best interpretation of Metal Sonic, and yeah, he's just Metal Sonic. And I only counted him as a different character as it's freaking Hyper Metal Sonic. Like, even Dr. Robotnik says it.
You'll be complete, my Hyper Metal Sonic.
I've always liked this movie, or I guess OVA, as it's like 2 parts. And it's all of them. Well, it's like 2 parts, but I always found this movie very fascinating. The characters it like creates and the lore, like the weird cat princess and the weird owl guy, which I want to see this guy return in the future, dude. Look at his fit. That is fresh. That is awesome. Look at that. That's that. Oh my goodness. And Sonic's voice in this movie, it's great. He says that iconic catchphrase, and then they gave Knuckles the treasure hat. Oh, that is amazing. That's iconic. This movie is iconic. This movie's underrated. This movie's better than the Sonic 1 movie. I'll just say that. And that's all the Metal Sonics, except for the one from Sonic 4, but that's not out yet. Only like 2 more years. There's a lot of Metal Sonics. Look at this number. Holy. I just wanted to take a look at these because Metal Sonic is an overlooked character in recent games, and I think he hasn't had a major role in any mainline games in a while. So hopefully in Sonic Movie 4, Metal Sonic will finally get the spotlight he deserves. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video and making it to the end. I just want to say a couple things. I want to try to keep this intro short. The end of March and April is going to be a big month for me, I think. I'm going to be posting way more videos. I'm aiming for like a video a week schedule until, yeah. And I got a couple of things planned to make this month a pretty good month, just cause. And thanks to everybody that's been watching the most recent videos. I just want to thank all you guys for enjoying them. I just want, like, yeah, if you guys have subscribed to me, thank you. Like, I actually really do appreciate it. And with that, I'll probably see you guys next week. I'll probably have a new video out by then. But with that, I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.